sir.
Girls, ladies.
Women. Who you calling a lady? Ain't me.
Not you.
Ladies up in here.
What's going on?
Nothing much. So, what would you like to talk about, Yianni?
Carelessness.
Ooh, your specialty?
My specialty.
Oof.
Now, does it make a difference if your brain just doesn't work, or if you smoke too much pot, or you're just distracted, or you have so much going on in your life that you just become careless with little things? And how does that pertain to working in a restaurant for anybody out there that has a lot going on in their life? And, they show up at work. You've seen them on some shifts, and they're just preoccupied with something else. Could be a death in the family. Could be they're so in debt, they don't know how to get out. And they're actually counting how many shifts it's going to take for them to get out of debt. Well, if I make 145 tonight and I work 5 days and I just average 145, it's only going to take me 4.5 years to get out of debt. Is that too depressing to talk about?
No.
But it's reality.
Yeah. I'll give someone a pass if it happens once in a while, but you consistently, your head's just not in the game, then stay home. Please, especially if you're my support staff.
But Liz, I have to make money. Okay,
Right,
I
so
have to make money,
but focus. Bring your A game. On a bad day, your B game. But I don't want to work with C and D and F players. I don't.
Okay, so I promise you, I'll do better from now on.
Please
and
do.
you accept that? Yes.
Yeah.
Would you
Yes.
accept that?
Yeah.
And I'm good for like the next week or two, and then I just fall right back into a pattern. It could be somebody in the kitchen. It could be a fellow bartender. It could be a manager. It could be a restaurant owner. It could be any position in any business in any life. But we're just going to focus on our experience in bars and restaurants, yes?
Yes.
Well, they say how you do anything is how you do everything. So if a person is that
Like that.
overly
Get down.
preoccupied or just out to lunch is what I like to say. If they're just really like that, then you know what you're expecting from this person.
Well, I think
If you've seen better examples of them and there's just like a moment they're having, maybe like you said, a death in the family or something really heavy is going on, then I mean, you try to work with them and give them a chance, but it is circumstantial, I think.
Who's your favorite type of person to work with? Is it the person that you just enjoy being around and isn't the best worker? Or is it the fastest worker, but they're a prick? And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because I love to be entertained,
Well, no,
but not. What? But it's not at the expense of you totally sucking. Like I worked with a bartender, normally a good bartender, and he was not good that day. And I think it is fair that if you're planning on sucking or you just happen to notice that you sucked that day, you should be telling people, give someone a heads up. I asked him, I said,
I'm not going to say totally sucking. I'm going to say is can do the job. But, when it gets busy, not so much. But you know what? They're just a great guy or gal. As opposed to, I'm going to use the example of, I get this a lot, that, you know what? Yeah, I'd rather deal with Yianni's brother, Peter. I'd rather deal with Peter because, he's more agreeable. But yeah, if we go to war, I'll take Yianni. So
Right.
what are you trying to tell me? That I'm the prick, but if it's busy, you want me? That's just an example. So I'm not going to go down totally sucking because somebody that totally sucks, usually like a thief always gets caught. They just naturally just kind of disappear. So somebody you enjoy working with that, let's just say, isn't that great, average. And let's use bartending. Okay, I'm not even going to say a bar back. I'm going to say a fellow bartender because when I go to bars, I actually watch and I see the movement and I say who's moving faster, who's not, who's serving 18 drinks while they're serving one, and sometimes somebody gets caught in, what's it called, jibber jabber with a customer while the other person is running in circles around them. Is that fair? And do you deal with that?
Well, I have a really different opinion about that.
Ooh,
And when it comes to the bar, because Liz and I have had this conversation before. She is a machine. She's so fast. And she's
all right.
she's
Well, you wanna
amazing.
go with the head?
Anybody who doesn't know,
shit.
Liz is incredible.
thanks, Leah.
But she has, admitted herself, I'm not always that social. I don't really like to talk to people. On the other hand, we have worked with somebody whose personality is just magnetic. Everybody loves him, but he moves slow. He's a little bit older. He's, you know who I'm talking about.
Which one? I'm sure
I know
Are
who
we
you're talking about.
I don't want to call him out, but
Okay.
he
Did he
has
work
a
with
ton
us?
of regulars. Yes, he worked with us.
Ah!
He complained all the time to us, but the customers loved him like he was their family. He brought a lot of money into our pockets as in tips.
Debatable.
But on the other side of it, Liz and I would be running around making all the drinks, but we were both bringing the same amount of money into the bucket because he's getting huge tips from people that are coming specifically to see him. So he's bringing back repeat customers. On the other hand, we're over here busting them all out. And, do you want to share your money with that person? I do, because, I think you need a lot of different players on a team, and if you have the right place for somebody like that, say you have a guy who's, just not that great at serving, but everybody loves him, maybe he'd be an amazing host. Or, so sometimes I think
if that was a great example, by the way, because I always look for balance. You don't want everybody being the same. I know when it's busy, it would be great if everybody was a machine gun and could just pump it out. But you know what? There is such thing as balance. But if you could find the right balance to where you're not getting taken advantage of, that's magic.
Yeah, that's the key, not getting taken advantage of.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. And when I first started bartending, and I've been doing it for a long time, I used to sit there and be that person. As busy as I was, corner of my eye, I'm watching you. I am watching you. And in my opinion, you're not moving fast enough. And I did that a lot. And I wasn't placing any value on what that person did bring to the table. Because sometimes it's not the volume. Sometimes, like she said, it's the personality. Does it matter that they're bringing back repeat customers? Yeah, it does matter. It all adds up. I actually went to a bartender I worked with, and I had said, former Marine, not that it matters and not that it makes you tough. But I said,
I know exactly who she's talking about.
I know exactly who she's talking about,
I just realized he knows too. But
He knows too.
I've told this story. He knows it. I said, he and I were the only two behind the bar, and we were getting killed. And I said, you need to pick up the pace. Holy shit. Like cursing match in the middle of the fly. Well, I lost my mind too. Like either you're going to bring it or you're not. Like, and he's a good bartender, but I was at that time counting. I'm looking at what I'm producing. I'm looking at what you're doing, as busy as I am. And that's just not, that makes for a really bad, awkward environment. And having a good vibe behind the bar is really important, whether you're working fast or you're working slow. And it took me a really long time to realize that and just accept people for what they can produce and place a value on what they bring to the table.
Well, I think with experience, and I'm going to say we have equal experience. I don't know. I'll use a kitchen in my end and we'll use the bar on your end. I don't know if either of you have seen me cook. I'm just going to throw this out there because you will understand this completely. Like, let's say you put my brother and I next to each other. Okay, I'm saying this. I'm looking at the camera. He is a better chef than I am. So I'm going to say.
So you want me to edit that part out or good?
Do not edit this part
Okay.
out. I'm saying it.
All
Yeah,
right.
I said it. If you put us side by side to make 10 dishes, the same exact 10 dishes, we all have the same equipment, same everything. We all have the same tools we need to succeed. Okay. At the end of those 10 dishes, they'll both come out at the same time, but he will not have broken a sweat. And you will look at me and I'll be sweating. Shit will be all over the place. There's going to be sauce on the wall. There's going to be shit on the floor. It's just going to be just a shit show. That's the difference and the efficiency. So when Leah said he's pretty fast, kind of fast, wouldn't you say efficiency plays a role in delivery and quickness? Because I've seen some people just pump it out and they just do it. I call it the ballet. They just get it out. And it's, for me, it's fucking magic to watch. In any business, but especially in the restaurant, bar business, whatnot, when I see fluidity like that and they could just do that. So I use my brother and I as an example because it's really funny to watch. I'm just a shit show.
Yeah,
sloppy.
If you ever watch it, there's always at least one person in every place you work at, regardless of what it is. And they're running around like just crazy, run. And you're like, oh my God, they're fast and getting stuff done. But when you really watch, according to my notes, what I've just observed, you're really not getting that much done. That's what I'm seeing. But it took me a long time to realize that there's those people.
Yeah.
Like, that's just an illusion. Just like your friend, that was an illusion because I worked next to that person and watched that person hook people up. and those people give them like $1 or $2 tips. So yeah, they kept coming back. Of course they did, but they weren't hooking them
There
up.
were times where you'd see them, somebody's handing them a $100 bill or $50 bill, but you know, it was definitely a lot of volume of people that come back just for him.
Yeah.
But in different environments, I've seen him like
When you
people
give a
walk
triple
in
shot
asking for him.
for a single, you charge them a single and give them a triple. When you fill the snifter up to the rim,
You're right. It's not good for the owner, but it's good for the bartenders.
Well, the customer that comes up to the bar, do you find that sometimes they want to be friends with you and chit chat when you're 3 deep?
yes. And
What is that?
She lets that
Don't
shit
be
happen.
that guy.
She lets it happen.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be the guy.
Don't be the sucker that lets it happen. That's you.
I'm that guy. I
Yeah.
am that guy.
I'll be like, I gotta go.
Now, I find, because I watch, I like to watch, I'm a people watcher. I find, and I'll bet money, I'd rather bet money on that as opposed to go on the casino floor and bet that this person has never worked in a restaurant before. They have no clue what's going on. All the surroundings are gone. And they might say, so how's your night going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
How you doing?
I had a guy say, tell me a joke.
A joke?
Yeah, I'm not telling you a joke.
I'm looking at one.
She it's funny because she could sit there and have a conversation with someone and be really busy and act like it's not a big deal. Like you wouldn't notice. Like she could play it off. That's my point. I cannot. Like if I think you're like killing me, like
Full
I kind of
eye
like, you know
roll.
what?
I also cannot, Leah. That is a gift that you have because I
is
think
a
we
gift.
share the same thing. Over 20 years, I request when somebody sees me stuck in a situation that they just call me on my cell phone as I'm talking to like a table or a customer. And I say, oh, it's the IRS. I got to go. So I just disappear. I find something or just, just for them to say, oh, yeah, go. So, but yeah, I can't sit there and just humor them, especially when I'm busy and I want to move and I got to go. But you're pretty fast paced, but you
Very
can actually
fast.
smile and acknowledge them. I don't know. You just,
But
it's
I
a
just
gift.
love when they want to have a conversation. The music is blasting.
Uh-huh.
People are calling orders at me. I got money in my hand, and there's so, and then,
But it's,
and you're like, I can't even hear you. What? And they're like, and you're looking at them like, what?
wait, and Leah does the look like she's listening, like
Do
she
it,
can
Liz,
hear
do
you.
it, do it.
'Cause she does it to me because you can't hear me in the nightclub. She and another bartender would do this. I'm like,
And
you
she
can't hear
called
me.
me
You can't
out.
hear me, can you?
And there's
she's
the
like,
head
"No, I
nod
can't."
and the smile?
I know the look. I know
The
the
half smile?
expression.
Uh-huh.
She does that in the club, but it's funny because you would never know it was annoying her. Like as a customer, you would never know. And I'd be bartending and just watching this go down. Like, really? Let me tell you a story. What was the story? Oh, this is terrible. I'm not gonna say where I worked. I know it was unprofessional, but it was just too much.
Sometimes it just happens.
So I was working and there was a bartender next to me waiting on this guy with his family. And and we're busy and I'm making a drink in the well next to him. And the guy says, so where are you from? All these questions. Like if someone's busy, come on.
like, where are you
Like,
from?
really? So I said, now I'm thinking this, but I wasn't thinking. Apparently I said it out loud. I said, no one cares. As I'm making the drinks and there's a guy, my customer waiting in front of me. And he's like, right? I'm like, did I say it out loud? Did I? He said, yeah. I go, was it loud? He's like, yeah. He's like, but you're right. But it just,
Nobody cares.
I'm sorry,
Everybody
Leah, are
wants
you
this.
wearing a wedding ring?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Are you wearing a wedding
No,
ring?
definitely not.
Okay. Have you ever thought about wearing a wedding ring
I have.
at the bar?
Yes.
That way, because I'm pretty sure, like I always say that women are smarter than men. How do you get out of conversations?
No,
That
I've been
wouldn't
down
stop
this
'em.
road. I was married for 5 minutes. I had the ring. It just made him want me more.
Yep.
Is
didn't
that
work.
right?
Yes.
People are scandalous. And usually in that environment, they're looking to hook up and not have anything else. So if you're married and you go for it, they know that they don't have to follow through with anything after that.
Oh.
So they see it. Or on top of that, you're married. You're desirable to someone. So this must be somebody that's worth chasing after. It's more of a challenge. So it's
So it doesn't fend off men
No,
while you're
no,
working.
no, no,
it doesn't
no,
fend
no,
off men
no.
while you're working. It
just
doesn't
gives them
work.
something else to talk about. Oh, you're married? Oh, do you have kids? Or, oh, that's a pretty ring.
Oh,
I
it's
was-
a segue into something else.
There's
Oh, that's even
I've
worse.
tried so many
Don't be
different
that guy.
ways.
So that would be our advice, right? To any ladies. How about for men? Do you see women? Let's use something. I know a couple of guys. We know some of the same people that bartend, right? Do you find that women are
They don't care.
doing the same thing as opposed to men coming to the women bartenders?
Terrible.
No shame. No shame.
No shame from the
If
women?
there wasn't a bar.
Don't be the girl.
Yeah, if there
Don't be
wasn't
the-
a
Don't be the girl.
Yeah, if there wasn't a bar separating the women drinking from the male bartenders, cup and a feel.
Women.
On the front,
Grab.
on the back, they'll grab your junk and think it's okay.
Junk.
I've seen it. It happens with like some of the bussers in the nightclub. It happens.
I mean, honestly, the most inappropriate things that are said to me usually come from women. Like, oh my
Out of here.
you have a
Come on,
great
stop it.
ass.
Oh.
Oh my God. You're so, listen, I'm not gay or anything, but I'm saying I would. And you're like, okay.
Wait, I got a story for
So you want another drink? Or-
And now, is that a compliment? Do you take that as a
Take it
compliment?
as a compliment, but
Why
they
not?
reach over and grab you. Women grab.
Oh,
Men
smack
are a
their hand
little
off
more
me.
like,
Women grab?
yes.
Oh, yeah,
because they
don't
feel like
care.
it's a
yeah. But
Rhea?
wait, how about this? I'm at work. It's in the nightclub. It's busy. I go to the bathroom. And I hear in the stall next to me, there's two girls. And one girl's in the stall and her friend's outside. And the girl in the stall says, oh my God, I think I dropped my phone in the toilet. Her friend's like, open the door. She's banging, open the door. And I'm like, oh, this,
Everybody
I can't.
needs a friend like
So
her.
I'm like, let me just get out of here. So I go, wash my hands, go to walk out. I hear the girl from the stall say, oh my God, you are so hot. So I keep walking naturally, and she keeps saying it. So I'm like, okay, clearly she's talking to me. So I turn around. The stall is open. Her pants are to her ankles, and her friend's like standing there, and she's just yelling out to me. This is the shit I have to see in the nightclub all
so much
the
to see in a
time.
club.
I've had women grab my ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you like that.
I don't like people looking at me, much less touching me.
You heard it here on Restaurant Punk.
That's
Don't
my
touch
tip.
Liz.
So our advice to anybody watching or listening is, what's the number one thing that we covered today? I'm going to go with, because we actually covered like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Don't touch your bartender.
Ever.
Don't touch the server.
Yeah.
Don't touch anybody. Keep your hands to yourself. Restaurant Punk.
We out.
Bye, Liz. Yeah.